I think they should be worried, and I think this is where I would put a little more on the plate of Jalen Hurts. And as not only team leader, but team quarterback, which is, it is a fair commentary on Jalen Hurts, the quarterback, that his biggest weakness as a passer is that intermediate over the middle. He does, there's stylistically, he has some similarities to late stage Russell Wilson. You know what I mean? Where it's a lot of like stuff short in the flats and then deep passes, particularly down the sidelines. A.J. Brown excels in that area where Jalen is not great. And because of that, because the team has been, you know, they won, what, 20 out of 21 or 19 out of 20, whatever it is, they've been like, well, if he's not great at it and we don't need to do it, why do it? I think Jalen needs to advocate to do some more of that.
And we are going to destroy this now. Like I told you guys, we are going to do, and I'm going to bring a ton of clips with this, because this narrative, now that it's on Jalen, or that he's actually not, he's not so good at some of these certain throws, it's all nonsense. And the idea of, like, that's why him and A.J. Brown can't connect right now, because of what A.J. does. Great is what Jalen Hurts can't really do, which doesn't make any sense considering all the success that they've had over these years. Also, this idea that A.J. Brown is selfish and that the fans should be worried. We are going to crush all of that right now. All of that. All of that. All of that. And before I even go through the other highlights that I really want to show you, I want to show you this next clip because there is so much greatness here. And listen to what A.J. Brown is saying, and I fully believe him 100%. And then listen to what Orlovsky highlights, and then what Hulk highlights, and then we'll get after it even more. Okay. He said, "This is my home. I did it to myself. I love it here. You see frustration, and we want to be great. It's not a bad thing to get the ball. I'm a guy that give me the ball when the game's on the line. I like that pressure when the game's on the line. Look at me." So, just in case you missed some of it, Dan, what's going on with the connection with Hurts and Brown? He's saying that he doesn't have a problem with his quarterback. One, I love A.J. Brown. I absolutely love him. Okay, so on the football field, I would tell you this. He's never been a guy that was this massive separator, right? Second worst in the NFL right now. Then I think there's a reality where I don't know if Jalen is trusting him in those situations as much with like 50-50 balls. Okay, so let's just look at a couple plays. Hawk, you give me your perspective too. So he's running that go route. Corner's kind of even with him, so that's an in-between ball. It's over the top, it's back shoulder. Jalen's going to be risk-averse with these throws right now. He's going to be fast too, and he's not going to give up the 50-50 launch and see if your guy can do it. Okay? Out and up. Corner's on top. Right? You would say, give him a chance on that back shoulder. This ball is like 3 or 4 yards out of bounds. I just think Jalen's at a point where I don't want to risk the football. And so, Jalen, I would tell you, AJ's not like open on these plays, but you would sit there and go, you got to give him a chance on the football or on the throw. Again, another ball that's 3-4 yards out of bounds. This one at the bottom of the screen, this is just a reality of coverage. Okay, that corner's off and inside. AJ's running it out route. Could you throw it high and away? So I just think the quarterback right now is a risk-averse quarterback. AJ's not getting open, but he never really has. He's never been this crazy separator, but you don't see the give him a chance ball. And I would say we used to between these two. I think it's the alignment of bad things all happening at once. I don't love the route variation. To your point, he only runs straight. Even the separation, it's hard to separate when you're only running straight lines down the field, double moves. Number two, Jalen wants to get the ball out. And on those deep shots, which are all double moves, those take time. So if it doesn't mirror up whenever he's separating and he's getting rid of the ball, then it's going to have that same result. Number 3, I would say A.J. Brown is actually the most selfless receiver in the league. He's not selfish. If that's the narrative, because he's ranked right now 49th in receiving yards of all receivers in the league, we know he's a top 5 wide receiver. That alone takes a certain amount of zen to get him to the point where he's okay doing this on a week-to basis. I gotta say, I'll give Nicky, the head coach, a lot of credit in this case. We're working out the scheme stuff, and I think that will get worked up because it has to. But how about the locker room management for a team that's 4-0, the defending Super Bowl champions? I think a lot of wide receivers might have gone up there and just kind of deadpan, maybe not said a whole lot. Like A.J. Brown, after speaking to people, said, "I'm taking this one on the chin. My bad." It's good leadership. Hey, that to me, it's maturity. It's growth, and it ensures you that A.J. Brown wants to be a Philadelphia Eagle. He knows this franchise is special. Everyone's trying to turn him into something that he's not particularly. And listen, I don't like that message came out and all this. He's saying that has nothing to do with the Eagles. There was other reports that confirmed that are actually close to AJ said it was. We don't have to kind of get into that whole song and dance, but regardless, I really respect what AJ is saying and how he even kind of was like, hey, you know what, like this, I kind of did this to myself right here in this moment. But he does want to be here. This isn't the typical, like when we heard like kind of Tyreek Hill nonsense, like I want to be here. I'm so happy here. And it was like clearly not the case. That's not what I believe AJ Brown is doing. And also what they're highlighting here. So they didn't really talk about it as much. They didn't really mention this in terms of kind of whether or not you're going to kind of lead your receiver or kind of throw like a back shoulder pass. If you have your receiver, if you have the defender beat just even by like a half a step, you're like, all right, I'm going to lead you. I'm going to send you, right? If you don't, if they kind of got you beat just even by a step, it's like, all right, I'm going to now back shoulder it. And so what's really happening here is that there's so many of these in-between moments where it's kind of like, and Jalen Hurts wanting to be risk adverse and not wanting to risk it, not wanting to give him a chance in these types of moments of games makes sense because the Eagles have consistently been in game management mode. And then when you now add in a lack of diversity of play calling and routes for AJ, he's constantly covered. He's constantly blanketed. I mean, you're asking Jalen Hurts to make ridiculous throw after ridiculous throw after ridiculous throw after ridiculous throw. Also, while making this decision, while the pocket has been collapsing more regularly than not, you're putting too much on the shoulders of a Jalen Hurts. And you know what? It's different when you do ask a quarterback to sit back and let it rip 35, 40 times a game, where you can afford to have these types of throws just kind of like, whatever. I'll live to see the next down. That's not how the Eagles run their offense, and it's smart. How do I know that it's smart? Because it's led to a lot of wins and a Super Bowl. Okay. So this whole idea that the Eagles need to practice, or that Jalen Hurts is just not good at some of these things, it's utter nonsense. And now we're going to go through the highlights of A.J. Brown in 2022. And you will see, because they just showed you all these other replays of A.J. Brown, and you're just kind of like, man, this is tough throw after tough throw after tough throw, tough catch after tough catch after tough catch. Like, this is a tough existence right now. Let me show you what it looks like differently. There's going to be a couple replays that I showed you before. We're going to go right through them, and we're going to just keep going because there's a ton of them. So this one's a little blurry, and I'm going to show you the rest of it, but I just really wanted to highlight this. You can obviously see the green guy in front of the blue guy. Obviously, the green guy is A.J. Brown. There's no other way to get it clear. But Jalen Hurts now just released the ball. He literally just released the ball. But when he's looking at him, he can see he's got a full step in front of him now. There's distance. I'm comfortable throwing this ball. This is from 2022. Compare that to this moment where Jalen Hurts is looking at A.J. Brown. And you can see now this defender has him beat now. And now you'll wait even a second. Corner's kind of even with him. That's an in-between ball. It's over the top. And now the ball's already been released at this point, okay? And so now he has some distance to him, but it's like, I got to get rid of this ball. You can see the pocket closing in on him, and he just has to let it rip. Whereas in this situation, you'll be able to see he's able to let it go when he knows AJ, without a shadow of a doubt, has his man beat, is able to lead him with anticipation. Boom. Make the throw, make the pass, make the catch right at the 12-yard line or wherever the heck it ends up going down. That becomes a fundamental difference. It's the difference between taking care of the ball, making a smart throw, and also being like, I don't got you right now. And that's just an example of when you're going to be more willing to throw those 50-50 balls, give your receiver a chance, etc. But here's a ball, here's a throw. A.J. Brown open in those intermediate throws. Jalen Hurts hits him perfectly. Boom, hits him. Interesting. He's also open. A.J. Brown hasn't been this open once in a single play in a single game this entire season. This is just one random play against the Minnesota Vikings in 2022 on 1st and 15. Jalen hits A.J. Brown wide open. Absolutely wide open. Can't get any more wide open than that. Jalen Hurts immediately hits him. Room to run. Boom. I mean, look at this throw. A.J. Brown's at the bottom of the screen. It ends up being a really tight window throw, but Jalen Hurts sees it. He lets it rip right away. Again, apparently another throw that Jalen Hurts is not good at. I mean, look at that. When there's just any type of separation and AJ is open, Jalen Hurts can get him the ball, but you can't just keep giving him these endless, little 3-yard, like, oh, got to get it to him right fast as he's blanketed, or these just nonstop 50-50 risk balls. Like, there has to be more. And then look at this screen pass execution. A.J. Brown already has the ball. This was a schemed throw. Got the ball in his hands right away. Blocker, blocker, blocker. Minnesota Vikings players on the wrong side of where you want to be. Plenty of room for A.J. Brown to get off, to get involved. They have not been able to run the screen game ever since Shane Stein left. It's just plummeted. And I've highlighted that a lot to show you all the different various pass attempts and the passing yards and the completions that Jalen Hurts never benefits from, while all these other quarterbacks, because they're always talking about, you got to have lots of pass-ups. You got to have lots of passive, where all these other quarterbacks get 5, 10+ attempts a game of these really short scheme throws that Jalen Hurts never has. Never, 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 never has. This is another great way to get someone like A.J. Brown involved. Eagles not doing it again. Here's another example of a 50-50 ball, though, where A.J. Brown clearly is in a more position of power to make a play right, clearly. And then he's able to come back and get it right. Like, it's just, there's essentially there, in a lot of ways, it's a 50-50 ball, but it's zero risk at that point. That has not been the case throughout this season. I mean, here's another throw that Jalen Hurts can't make to A.J. Brown because he's just not good at it, I guess. Again, Jalen on the move, making a throw on the move. A.J. Brown has some space. He finds him. Surprise, surprise. Another beautiful intermediate throw. And again, A.J. Brown now, he has his man on the right. Like, he's the way where the ball is going to be placed, and where A.J. Brown has his man. Again, it becomes the right play, the right throw, minimal risk. It's a thing of beauty when the play calling is there, when the play design is there. I mean, just look how regularly A.J. Brown is open. I mean, this is just pitch and catch. And it's not like they don't know who A.J. Brown is, right? It's, again, I said this, I think, in my previous video. It's one thing if, like, A.J. Brown was, like, a new receiver that, like, people didn't really know, like, oh, he's him. We got a game plan. Like, they know who he is. They know who he is. These routes, these options for Jalen and AJ, for that matter, are just not here. Like, this is such a great example of a play that we've kind of been seeing this season. But the difference between 22 and 24, though, is AJ Brown's going to get the ball in a pass that we saw them try to do a bunch of times, specifically against the Kansas City Chiefs. But it was immediately met with contact. It was immediately like, we are all on top of you. We're batting the ball down. There's nowhere to go. It's already going to be a ridiculously tough throw. But in this play again, A.J. Brown has a defender on his back in a way where he's able to catch the ball, even run a bit. And again, it just makes it way easier and quick to execute. I mean, you can see that he already has the space there. And look where he's able to catch the ball, whereas all the beginning of the season, it's just been, again, it's like literally the definition of blanketed. These are the fundamental differences here. I mean, this play right here is gorgeous, the way how they utilize the RPO and have AJ running to just open it up for him. I mean, it's gorgeous. Just look. I mean, look at that execution. Look at the pass that you now get to have set up for AJ Brown. Boom. I mean, it's just gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. And listen to what Collinsworth says about it. I didn't realize he said this, but this is what he said. Coming right at you with a quarterback and AJ Brown, you got one or the other. That's it. They quarterback. I don't know how you stop this. I don't know how you stop this. And it's using the threat of Jalen Hurts. It's using the threat of AJ Brown. That's play calling. That's why coaching matters. I mean, here's another beautiful play call and a play design. We'll see it. They're both at the top of their screen. Both receivers, AJ Brown being one of them. I can't see who the other one is. And you see the two defenders of the Steelers go to the other receiver, which then leaves AJ Brown open. Again, another throw that Jalen Hurts he's just not good at. But again, a beautiful play design exposing the defense. Boom. They go to him. AJ Brown open. So we can stop with this nonsense. Okay. We can stop with this nonsense. The throws that Jalen Hurts are not good at. According to Nick, in 2022, he was ranked the third best via PFF. He had a 62.22 completion percentage in these intermediate throws. Josh Allen, 61.4%. Patrick Mahomes, 60.9. Jalen Hurts had 5 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Pretty good. Patrick Mahomes had 9 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, and 87.4 PFF rating. Jalen Hurts had a 113.7 passer rating. Patrick Mahomes had a 96.1 passer rating. He literally had the second highest passer rating in those intermediate throws. Second to only Josh Allen. 2 at 3. Justin Herbert at 5. Patrick Mahomes ranked 13th. So you want to tell me again how he's not good at that top 7 in completion percentage? No, it doesn't make sense. Okay? In 2023, he was even better. He was ranked second, 94.8 PFF rating, second to only Lamar Jackson, 65.66 completion percentage, 8 touchdowns, 1 interception. Patrick Mahomes, 8 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Lamar Jackson cooking 11 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. A 126.3 passer rating. Patrick Mahomes, 121.4, 295. Josh Allen, 108.9. Justin Herbert, 107.1. So what are we inventing here? And this is where it's bizarre, because now in 2024, his down year, he was top 7 in passer rating in these intermediate throws. Completion percentage 65.3%. Patrick Mahomes was 61.1. Yikes. Josh Allen 54%. Joe Burrow 60%. CJ Stroud 63%. Baker Mayfield, he loves him so much, 63%. So now they had a lot less attempts this year. He only had 72 attempts in those intermediate throws, but we know that the offense fundamentally changed how it was run, obviously. And yet, again, so somehow it makes him not good at it, even though, again, in those passes he was rated PFF top 6. He was ranked 90.8. And remember that it was games where A.J. Brown was missing, Devontae Smith missing, Dallas missing, etc., etc. New play caller, new coordinator, you know the drill. And now Jalen Hurts, his first year as a starter in 2021, with a mixed bag year because it was like half Sirianni, half Shane Steichen. Top 5 in completion percentage in these intermediate throws. 5 touchdowns, 1 interception, 93 attempts. Josh Allen, 57.5% coach percentage. Patrick Mahomes, because I know those guys were screaming, no. 22 and 23, he had bad player. Oh, this is 2021. This is Travis Kelce in his prime. This is Tyreek Hill in his prime. Patrick M's 55.5% completion percentage. I don't know, man. I don't know. 6 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. 2 interceptions. passer rating of 92.7 in those intermediate throws. Jalen Hurts, a 1 in 10.5 passer rating in those throws. So, what examples are we saying that Jalen Hurts can't make these intermediate throws? Like, I mean, the film doesn't show it. The stats don't show it. Can someone help me out here? Can anyone help me out here? I mean, I don't understand. I really don't. Doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, this season right now, again, his attempts are way low. Only 8 attempts in those intermediate throws, and his completion percentage is 75%, 75%, and 1 touchdown and a passer rating of 156.3. Pretty good. Pretty good. But again, the attempts aren't there. They're not really calling them as much. You can see Sam Donald's got 24 attempts. Marcus Mariota hasn't even played the full season, 14 attempts. You know, Jalen Hurts has 8 attempts. Lamar Jackson, 28. Matthew Stafford, 26. Mahomes, 18. So right now, Kevin Pulla is calling this significantly less. Like right now, what has he got? He has 8 attempts over 4 games. So, I mean, that's, you know, going to be 2 attempts per game, which we know it's obviously not going to be exactly that. But, you know, so you're talking about at this general rate with some sort of variance about like half the amount of attempts that he's had in other years. I can't tell you exactly why that is. The trend was a little bit lower. The trend was getting a little bit lower, specifically in 24. Again, things are going to change when you add someone like a Saquon Barkley, when you're running the ball a lot more, etc., etc., etc. But right now, it's like this like extra, but it's not because he's not good at it. I showed you he was great in 21. I showed you he was great in 22. I showed you he was great in 23. I showed you he was great in 24. And even in 25, he's 6 for 8. He's very successful at it. He's getting it done. But they're just not calling those plays right now. Again, for whatever reason. I'm not a coordinator. We can all jump in with our random guesses, but like, you know, I don't know. So, yeah, maybe let's not jump to, well, we got to put more on the shoulders of Jalen Hurts. Well, Jalen Hurts is just not really good at what A.J. Brown does. That's good. What? This is how bizarre narratives get created. Because if you don't really know, if you're not really watching, you sit back and you watch a show, and Nick says, yeah, you know, Jalen Hurts can't really make these types of throws. And people say, yeah, Jalen Hurts can't make these type of throws. Yeah, Jalen Hurts can't make these type of throws. Did you know that Jalen Hurts can't really make these types of throws? Yeah, Jalen Hurts can't make these types of throws. Then you're watching the game, you see him throw an incompletion on that type of throw. You're, oh yeah, Jalen Hurts really can make those types of throws. It's just like, wait, what? That's like, wait, huh? And then it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. I mean, just wait until Jalen Hurts throws an interception. It'll be like, this is why they don't throw the ball a lot, right? And it's like, okay, well, every single quarterback has a whole bunch of interceptions. But like Jalen Hurts throws an interception, I'll be like, this is why they don't throw the ball. It's like, okay, damned if you do, damned if you don't. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about what this offense needs? How it needs to get done? The whole never-ending story about A.J. Brown, Jalen Hurts, his inability to throw the ball, his inability to throw specific types of passes, you know, A.J. Brown just not being open as much as he was before. Even the 50-50 balls are more now like 40-60 balls. Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions, let's get in some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all generally feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.